nti ejinasa press conference so fremo the yensem ye how na nema yekoso Sampa ne nempotem ha ne nkuru atwa ne ho ahia nananom asabi yehye nana emse ye twa ya bokakra ne mabia ekoso ha no nanka esemfata nanso omobia no yenso obi eminim sese de mre ye adwuma aye de dwuma ko gina mre ni ene san sa branch ye ya oko gina aduada so number 1 number 2 ko kan ho say eye nana eye acting president nana kwaju masa eye adonte hin okoko wa mano mrebi osune se wa ma nana so ameso no just okay na fanakasa no de ya na se mo kan de batwi mu a obi tu na de so basifo ohun foforo wo ko
Asantemanso TV, yesomo Sampa.
Times are changing.
Ghana mine, mabusia panyin me so Sampa na nam. Gane na ne tetie mu rim we sidan wi anaso moso no so adane adesoa. Ene de Adabov company e wa santememu abedum yen. Amedan so bo ayemre. Enchanse awodro apapapa. E wodi gudan so medan homie. Ebi de say long span self rock, IBR, housing standard, Eurotiles and shingles, steel trusses and woodworks, roofing sheets, squares, afei roofing knobs. Ni nyina e dan e honiema Adabov company e de abeboaye. Your office ankasa ewo ehwia overseas junction ena baby adwumakui factory nankasa wo no e infensi a ye ben moba asoro no e ma remfi say wanim di fo mo de sanchensi e de guda so e de amawo empo se wuni obi a obetumi afre yen e wo 0245385109 Adabov company limited say ye dan so body a ene na wo mo e osimpitimpirimpi
Abusiafo ne etiefo mema ye nyina ye ho akwaba edeba Asantemanso TV ai na mekai wo say eya na wa subscribe to the channel na face wa click notification bell no say de be ya yenya information bia onso obeti okay ene medemu bo erem e wo Sampa na menummienu nyina nim say ene de yewura afefufrom yes yewura afefufrom entinka menummienu enim say say ye rafi from dia na chese afe dada no enema bia eye dada bia ayeden atwam edeko na chese afe a ye mu ide ye de enema foforo enko a na ehye ase na we na ye nkoda na ye nsori a ye kote ya Sampa nsensem eye Sammordua minim se meka Sammordua ye nyina ye nim enema a ekoso ewo Sampa enam your friend is saying Sammordua ho nsensem ya na abusuafo se yesi ohene na se wo se wonti ase a wankasa watutu anamo e de asem no akwakodan court se wo de asem na kodan court a to boas minnu nim se court de ye ko eyemra enti na de asem e court enti adru court wonem na de aka bia ye jae e de ahye emranimfo no ensem enti se wonti bibia se na wabɔ homoden e de akodan court a na kyese e wo se wo twɛn till eda court no ahye se eda sei ye beba ne abetena asem no so enti minnu nyina ye ti anum sei Sampa nsem ne nyina ye twɛn on the 13th of this month, which is January 2025 nanso odi asem na kodan court awie no still eniamo ho sembi eda so ekoso ewo Sampa kronim na we na ama traditional council of Sampa atna ase na wode ensem meka press release ede aba abonten etwetwe enema ekoso ewo Sampa wonani enje ho enyame na meka we de eye chidomhene a owo Sampa ena de ensem we nyina aba abatudwa abusuafo ye nche ho no yenko na yenko tie chidomhene embra.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, thank you very much for your presence. Good morning, everyone, and let me say again, Happy New Year. We appreciate your prompt response to our call upon short notice. This press statement was necessitated by unfortunate, unwarranted, and unguarded comments made by one Romford Oba, who styled himself as Sammordua, purported to be the paramount chief of Sampa Traditional Council, threatening to destool Kukuahene, who is the Adontin of Sampa Traditional Council. The other Somawahene, who is Swankwahene of the Sampa Traditional Council, and then the other number 2 Hene, who is also Hene of Sampa Traditional Council. If they fail or refuse to recognize him as paramount chief of Sampa Traditional Council, which council finds unacceptable and uncustomary and then illegal, we found those actions as illegal. Today's press statement seeks to clarify issues about Sampa traditional affairs and other matters concerned. Hate speech, misinformation, acts of hooliganism, and direct threat to human rights, sustainable development, and peace and security. We need to be effective in both assessing our universal values in addressing the root cause of dishonesty, misinformation, anxiety, and anger. This is key to the bringing people along in defense of those values that are under such grave threat today in our traditional area. It is important that we put the following questions into proper perspective. 1. Which stool that the Sampa stool owns allegiance to? 2. Who evaluated Sampa stool into paramountcy? 3. Was the Sampa stool affair arbitration concluded and has been appealed against such arbitration award? 3. That's 4. Are the Traditional Council members supporting someone against other? Is it a matter of understanding? Standing for one truth. 4. 5. What is the root cause of the Sampa problem? Our friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, customary, the Sampa stool is a sub-stool to the golden stool, and therefore it owes allegiance to Asante Hene. The Sampa stool was elevated to paramountcy in 1984 by the Asante Hene's Royal Majesty Otumfuo Opokuwa II. Nana Kofi II, whose reign the stool was elevated to paramountcy, became the first paramount chief of the traditional council, traditional area, accordingly sworn allegiance to the golden stool at Menchia before the late Otumfuo Opokuwa II. Nana Kofi II, who automatically became the president of the Sampa Traditional Council, passed away in 2007, and at the meeting of the members of the Traditional Council, Nana Kwajo Masa II, Kukuahene, and Adontin of Sampa Traditional Council area, was appointed as the acting president of the Traditional Council. Since 2007 up to date, Nana Kwajo Masa has acted as the paramount president of the Traditional Council while awaiting for Nana Samba Jafla, who had been properly installed as the paramount chief of the Sampa Traditional area, to be gazetted to enable him assume the position of president of the Sampa Traditional Council as required by the Chieftaincy Act. Before the death of Nana Kofi, the then paramount queen mother, Yajo Kakala, had passed away, and attempts to install a new queen mother generated litigation which was pending before the Judicial Committee of Regional House of Chiefs. As of the time, Nana Kwajo Masa assumed the position of acting president of the Sampa Traditional Council. The two stools, i.e., the paramount chief and then the paramount queen stool, were all vacant. Nana Kofi no. 7. A dispute arose to which Royal Gate 10 was to nominate someone to succeed Nana Kofi as paramount chief of Sampa traditional area. Nana Abu filed a petition at the Bo Regional House of Chiefs for a declaration that was his Royal Gate 10 to nominate someone to be installed as the paramount chief. While the two petitions were pending at the Bro Regional House of Chiefs, the parties voluntarily referred the dispute to Asante and Asanteman Council for arbitration because they all recognize that the Sampa stool owns allegiance to the golden stool and therefore was proper forum for arbitration. This was rightly stated in a letter written by Jasehene to Nana Kwemasa II in his capacity as acting president during the arbitration period. This is a copy. In fact, we'll give you copies of those. These are copies of, and we'll present them to you. A panel was constituted by His Royal Majesty Otumfuo to go into the two petitions. A panel after it had gone through the petitions filed, submitted its report to the Asante and Asanteman Council. The report was debated and adopted by the Asanteman Council, and an arbitral award was given. The Asanteman Council declared that the Sammordua family, where Randolph Oba styled himself as Sammordua II, hails from, were not royals and therefore were not eligible to ascend the Sampa throne. This decision was communicated to the Traditional Council, and at a meeting of the council, it was agreed that a delegation be sent to Manshia Palace to ascertain the truth or otherwise of what the Traditional Council was told by Nana Abu Mama. Upon inquiries by the delegation, it turned out that one Rose Mensah, the mother of Randolph Oba, also known as Nana Sammordua, and Adam Awatra, has filed fresh petition at Manshia Palace, which was yet to be gone into. It is important to state that this fresh petition is different from the two petitions were agreed upon by the parties for Otumfuo to settle. Based on this information, the Traditional Council met and invited the petitioners, Mansa Rose and Abba Mawatra, and the respondent, Nana Abu's family, and urged them to exercise restraint while waiting for the outcome of the fresh petition filed by Rose Mansa and Adam Mawatra. At the meeting, it was resolved that the Traditional Council would be bound by a arbitral award that will be pronounced by Asanteman Council under the presidency of His Royal Majesty Otumfuo II. On 22nd June 2023, the Asante sitting in council with Asanteman gave verdict on the petition, which declared that the Sammordua family, represented by Rose Mansa, the petitioner, were not, I repeat, were not eligible to ascend the Sampa stool. Nana Abu Watra's Royal Gate was therefore mandated to nominate someone to install as paramount chief of Sampa traditional area. Copies of this arbitral were also sent to the relevant institutions, the Sampa Traditional Council and Bro Regional House of Chiefs. Subsequently, the Afia Techua royal family, Yelkose's Royal Gate, customary met and nominated Justice Emmanuel Ankama as their candidate to occupy the paramount stool. The kingmakers of Sampa stool approved the nomination of Justice Emmanuel Ankama to occupy the vacant paramount stool. These are the documents. I've already told you we will present them. These are the documents executed by the kingmakers in approval of the nomination of Justice Emmanuel Ankama as Paramount Chief elect for Sampa Traditional Area. After the nomination, approval of Justice Emmanuel Ankama, the acting president led the delegation of the kingmakers from Sampa Traditional Council and members of nominee Royal Gate to Menshia and formally introduce him to Otunfosi to the second as Paramount Chief nominated and approved by the kingmakers to occupy the vacant stool, and Otunfo accepted the nominee. Subsequently, Justice Emmanuel Ankama performed all the necessary customary rites of ensuement on 31st November 2023. He sworn before kingmakers and other members of the Traditional Council to be Paramount Chief of the Sampa Traditional Area under the stool name Nana Sammordua II. Members of the Sampa Traditional Council also sworn the oath of allegiance to him. That on the 18th of December 2023, Nana Sammordua II sworn the oath of allegiance to His Royal Majesty Otumfuo II to consummate his installment. The members of the Traditional Council, including the acting president, took turns to swear the oath of allegiance to the golden stool. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, please take note that after the death of Nana Kofi II, all the sub-chiefs who have been gazetted and their chieftaincy declaration forms endorsed by Nana Kojo Masa II in his capacity as the acting president of the Sampa Traditional Area. Apart from Nana Kojo Masa II, the council had not mandated anyone to endorse chieftaincy declaration forms for any other person claiming to be Paramount Chief of Sampa or Paramount Queen Mother of Sampa Traditional Area. The acting president duly endorsed the chieftaincy declaration form of Nana Sammordua and caused say to submit and to be submitted to Bruno Regional House of Chiefs for transmission to the National House of Chiefs as it is required of it, Bruno Regional House of Chiefs, by the Chieftaincy Act. The council acted in fulfillment of its promise of bound by the outcome of the arbitration at Menshia Palace. Members of the Sampa Traditional Council are therefore surprised to hear that Bruno Regional House Chiefs have refused to transmit the chieftaincy declaration forms of Nana Sammordua on account that they have already received processes the forms for Nana Sammordua II. As of the time, the Regional House of Chiefs purported to have processed the chieftaincy declaration forms of Nana Sammordua. Otumfuo said to have already informed the Brown of Regional House of Chiefs that Sammordua's family are not royals and therefore not eligible to ascend the Sampa stool. I think we will give you a copy of this. The Brown Regional House of Chiefs ought to know what it does not have to the power to determine who should be registered as Paramount Chief of Sampa Traditional Area. If at all it has any role to play in the registration process, it only conveys what has been duly submitted to it by Sampa Traditional Council, acting through the acting president, Nana Kojo Masa, to the National House of Chiefs, which has the sole mandate to approve or disapprove the chieftaincy declaration form submitted by the applicant. The problems in Sampa are instigated by actions of Brown Regional House of Chiefs, which is very unfortunate. A statutory body should not be used to foment trouble by individuals for their selfish-centered interests. As matters of fact, it came as a surprise to Sampa Traditional Council that the CD forms of the said Sammordua, which had not been sanctioned by the kingmakers and the Traditional Council through the acting president, have been forwarded by Bro Regional House of Chiefs to the National House of Chiefs in December 2023. The very day the council was before the Asantewaa to swear the oath of allegiance to the Golden Stone. When we heard this, an application was filed to stop the National House of Chiefs from going ahead to gazette Sammordua II. However, the application was discontinued. Other CD forms had been returned to Bruno Regional House of Chiefs because same were declared as invalid. This is a copy of the search report. I think I've already informed you. We'll give you copies. The council is not aware that the arbitral award has been set aside, nor is it aware that there is pending application to set aside the award. Nana Sampa Jafla is the lawful installed permanent chief of Sampa Traditional Area, and the Traditional Council only declare him as such. The council members will therefore not tolerate anyone. I repeat, the council members will therefore not tolerate anyone going around the traditional threatening chiefs with disarmament. In view of this, we are calling the security agencies to act and call such people to order, because we don't want to do it in our way. We will not allow lawlessness individual to destroy the peace of our towns. Therefore, whatever Nananum will do to maintain peace in our communities, we will do it. We are also calling on the leadership of Braf Regional House of Chiefs to use the house to promote peace, development, and not an individual selfish interest. The Bro Regional House of Chiefs is a statutory body and not an extension of anybody's stool. The Ministry of Chieftaincy Affairs, National Security, others should know that what the Bro House of Chiefs is doing is not in the interest of the nation and should be told to desist from it with immediate effect. The Sampa Stool Affairs is not a fight between Bro and Asantes. I repeat that sentence again. The Sampa Stool Affairs is not a fight between Bro and Asante. The Sampa Stool is part of Asantewaa Council, and therefore it was right forum for the arbitration. And if anyone does not agree with the arbitral award, the person is free to use the available legal remedies and not through hooliganism to address his concerns. Nananum, Nananum will protect their territories and will do that through customary and legal means available to them. We will not tolerate anyone who will want to bring division and anarchy within our towns. I thank you very much. Yeah, making kind, Bijana Nananum and Kinkai, and an up will quite do our autos me. Me a regent with the other summer too, and I'm here Chido Henry, the man, the other number two. Nana Mpuna here, the Damas.
Abusiafo enti said the bidi kan no Sampa Traditional Council and Chidom Hine the press release no eba beto edwa edemaye no niema niamo ho sama ekoso ewo Sampa ane na saa insensem we ye mu nso na tufuhene a ono so ewo Sampa enso eba be kan bi kan ho ebe kyerɛkyerɛ nsem mu de kyerɛ yen yie na abusuafo say ye ka Sammordua ote Sampa ebo ne ho asafohene sa wo ye ohene na ye nso mi no mienu ye nim ba bi a wosom no ensem ni ase eni ya yenyan Traditional Council of Sampa etnasi de di kan kotie no chidom hene na de eba betie nso tufuhene okasa bebre kan ya de kachre say security agencies a omo Ghana enhwe na asem yi enkoso totin enfa ema omo because yenim say emra ewo man mu ena emra nso ne de ye adwuma enti say emra ewo man mu na say emra ne de ye adwuma de a tufuhene esre Ghana's security agencies say omo nhwe na omo moa na eniamo ho nsem a Sammordua ete Sampa kronim edi no omo nhwe na bibia enkoyi eba ne sen na obeka kire say we mu nso me wan nso me ameyo say no what nkrofo e de agu kronim na omo dimbone aden abusuafo yenko na yenko tie de tufuhene enso edi tuja
ayato nsa afremoyi nananum ahiasem ye wo mo anibresem na yenim se monso na mo ye nipa mo ayete se dua ye fam so eforo so nti ejina sa press conference so fremo de yensem ye hawo na nema ye koso Sampa ne potem ha ne nkuru atwa ne ho ahia nananom asabi yehye nana emse ye twa ya bokakra ye mabia ekoso ha no nanka ese fata nanso omo bia no ye nso obi eminim se de mre ye adwuma a ye de dwuma ko gina mre ni ene sen sa branch ye ya oko gina aduada so number 1 number 2 ko kan ho se eye nana eye acting president nana Kwaju Masa eye adonten hin ekokon wa ma no mre bi bosone se wa ma ne nan so ameso no yeso he na fanakasa no mu de ya na se mo kan de batwi mu a obi tu na de so asifo ohun foforo wo kokon eto so biem eye nana a o ti den se ni papi nana sumanfa hene nana obi brefi ono so ne duada so number 1 ohene a owo ho fili tetetetetete ne nananom na se de chichiri kuro ba obi a chichiri ne kuro ene yi na ka bo mu te se bi asanteman ya ka bo mu a yesom yewura otikoko so no saa pepepe ene nkuro atwa Sampa mo hye nyina no ya fa so ade chichiri wo kuro a ye de ye nana Biafra atue ya no se Sampa man hena yewura otumfo kokuwa otoso mienu 1984 opaja ekonye ye no man hena etoso biem biara so number 2 ohina wo hoye nana mpono ahene nana kwaku ababio fitete ena ne nana no chechire biara so number 2 kuru enne ibise ho se abrantie ya obo no safo hene so de ya Sammordua yi a ono sese oyinti tiase ni basa na ode ba o man no na ye penesa ye de ye so mamra na nka enye fe nye won se wo so ye ohene na te se nkuru to ase bi nkuru me bobo de se kabire jamra bo na kira dadim buko kokua biara so number 1 number 2 ase bi brebia ni nkuru ketwa na wo so ye ohene na sa nipa bia eni wachi obia ni wachi na wasesa de mmara hye wo nsam ye nkote a Sampa kurunti he a na aboa mranti bia no na makoto ahye na hemfie se yetu Sampa kurunti he se de aye ne fo na ode duru na nanom akesefo no so nkronum na yeso de ye pese ye fa moso se me duara so ho no wo mo edi na chi no me kan prince obi ohene bi di na chi so ye ohene onye ohene ene hwan pese ye fe na jato me kan prince jato onye ohene wo de kwa kan kase mo a onsan chiro ohene bia ye yi no sa patam hina na nkasa abre no obeba be so akire na na kofisu no a otoso miye sa abre na na akam nti na chiri na ye fese nka nne na jafra ba ye na ko obeba be so akire no so ye ohene za nipa we wafa no ana said you want to be ase odi na chi there are so number 2 kuro no eye na na kwa ba bio ne na na no na chichi kuro bisi nne ohene ba akopɛ ene wo ho ene na na kwa ba bio ohena wasɔre wo ho asese ɔso ka no ho no oye benkum hene ma Sampa traditional council na na kofisu no ba ye no oye na na kwa ba bio ni kurunti he a ono no ni bu ma na bibinti ena wa twe no pɛ so twe no fie ne nkyɛn ena obɛyɛ na na bon benkum hene wo Sampa traditional council na ko biara so de onye ohene wo ho sa nipa we no ni nupe we aya ya to biara so number 1 a ono kwa be kana na sumankwa ahene ho a ono oyo ohene obeso ko ka na share no afa wo ma isam lanti ebi no edi wo mo achi se we printi hene odo wo manam se na hemfo obiara ni kwa se bi oyo ohene na so se oyo ohene oyo man hena se nkura amabobo din ase bi etwa Sampa ho hia yi onche ohene ba akopɛ ase bi wo mo ye se bi ohene anye se ohene keke aban ginzet no a wo mo ni di yo mo hene wo biara so a bi di na chi nti me bono to fa se ye be gina we so na area security ye wura nom se ye wura da pare if this is commander so Popin regional commander so Popin ye wura da pare so yes no o ma na nimra Sampa na nema aye koso no enye papa nye se bi esuro na yesuro nipa bi no atototo wo mu na se nye abotare wo a wode wade no wonse no eno na nana no mahwe nka se bi nana no keka wo mu a nka Ghana do mu se asemo si Sampa man mu a yeso yi na yempe na sa ntina nana atonsa afra mu ye gina mo so na ne ba mahwe mo nhwe na momma mo mfidie no enko yiwura dampare ne mpanyimfo yema interior minister no wo mo asonte yehu ne yeko na abrante no onye ohene wo Sampa ha ni kwa bi na wafa wo mo ena sebi wo mo nim hwe nti ena ode mra hye ne nsem a oye sa na ma we na se sa kokon akuro ye da ho yi enye kuro kitwa na be kwa ko gina ho na obeka se me botu na na kokon ahene wo se bi nananom ti wo nananom ti hye kuro no na wo nananom wo he wuni mase kokon ano kuro din na da so no wuni mase ana abadu ya da so number 1 number 2 nti atlante no ne oye no kompesa so bi do man nti ne me de me gina nananom anem ma bo no tofa e de akira mo a mo chi egu mo fidie so no mama yewura dampare ne mpanyifo ani ya yema ye nimra ha na obi a wo yesai ne ma no se bi ye nya no wa tra de nton safre no no famla kwan so no mom ne beboa ama so ndie aba ye ma ye mo na se basa o kan titi ase o kan kosem o kan awudi sem ne ma no a de basa be ba na se bi bia da bia o ye na o fa ho dia surumma ni obeya na obeya so ye kai ho a enko papa ma na ere entanesa nti nebo papa na madam ase se mo ba amaboy mo fa osie nyi oyo na mo ntu ma na mo na obiara eso te Sampa se ni o ma na ni mbra na panta to bi e fa so e be dire ni paase e wo Sampa ha na so na ahoto aba ma Sampa e Ghana nya na to ma boy fila ba fa to ma boy fila ti no pa ba me da ase
Nti tufuhine na yekotie no tufuhine a owo Sampa ai enti entna ye na wahu say nkofo etete onananom etete honom no eye Sampa Traditional Council enti tufuhine enso de title de chidomhene ekaye no so the title say security agencies a ewo Ghana no osre wona onfa wona insifom because ye dey asem no akwakodan court there na chese ene eyemra na ye hwe se bibia ebeto ye ede amayen na nipa baako entena baabi emfa mra na emfa nhye ne nsem na onye de ope na we ansom me asei we mesum ensem na ni enyan enti no futuhene de enso eta eto say osre Ghana security agencies no yenim say ye frem a mokoyemwa enu nti na wanfa emra no amfa nhye ne nsem na wasu de afrem say security agencies a ewo Ghana talking of police any will be biara enema anasa eniamo ho nsem ekoso a won betimi agina ahwe ama bibia akoyie no won na enedai tufuhene a ewo Sampa Traditional Council ato ensa esre won say oma wonwa na enema na ekoso ewo Sampa ene de Sammordua ene ne nkrofo atiagu monten so a woye no eni enyan papa na da bia ya na meka say asem kese owe eba Franka ensi so sanka eba na nka yehu se Franka esisu a anka asem bia yebehu ba bia efri eba nanso mpanifa me yate ho ase se asem kese owe eba Franka ensi so na wonim se ensensem we nyina ekoso ewo Sampa no Sammordua eneye wanya sa akokodro no edidi eniamo ho sem ewo mannim ewo sa akonim no enkoma nyina ejina Bono Regional House of Chiefs ono ene tai Sammordua echi wo hye na sa kutupa no ema wotimi enya sa akokodro no edidi eniamo ho sem ewo kronim ho abusuafo na meka ama ye nyina yate ye ho ase se empanimfo a mudi yanim no ya yenim se ye nkwada na se yenim se ye mabunu no na mo empanimfo a elders amudi yanim no na se sei na mo cha attitude na mo portrait mo pese da chibi no nya den ye nkwala na ye ba ye mabunu na ye te kronim no timamufo na ye ba no o pese ye nya den because menu nyina nim se yen aye bay youth ayesisu yen nyina ye sua efri empanimfo ho yen nyina ye sua efri empanimfo ho enti se wo pani na wodi yanim no djuma a wodi nie wei na wodi asi wani so wo hye kutupa se bone enkoso ewo kura yatimu a abusuafo ede na mpesa mo ka kire yen se da chi bia so yenyini emra na ye mebo sa abra no ana abusuafo ye bibia ma ye nhwe ni ye o dachia seminti yenka asa asemra o nanso dachia seminti makoye nipa wakoye nipa ide kai hunu say asem bi ebetumi aba enti we nyina enkoma Sammordua nya kokodro ede nanka wo Sammordua ba ne sen na wote kokoso esihine wo se damenti ase na se dana wonti ase ni nyina se Bono Regional House of Chiefs na tawachi ahye okutupa mu wanya sa kokodro no edi yesa ni amohu sem ewo krom ho me se wo de asem na kodan quarter jai mabibia entodi na ye nyina ye ntwen 13th January 2025 eya afefufuro ya yesim no jai ni nyina fama court na wankasa na ode koye we na ama tufuhene enso asan ede ababe ka se de meka no pepepe no saa na futuhene enso ede ababe tudwa se we nyina enkomra no eye Bono Regional House of Chiefs na ehye Sammordua kutupa amanidi saa eniamo hu semi ewo kronim yenko na yenkoti okasa wie ye no nso ode afutusem kakra ede tato ede mayen yen mpanimfo no ene mabunu a afei na yesiso a yen so ye ban yen kwa na yen kotie no
mesremo ne ye hwehwa free bono house of chiefs no say be bono no ye nyina na yesom bono ye nya tamfo se na ebinum pese ye no bra ye de nana esi akonwa so yi se be ye de nana enkrata ekoe na saa bra na binum afakuntu na se bi de nkrata bi eye saa abrantie ne nkrata akudi house ho na ekoduru national house ema wom ko hu se saa nkrata na ode abasa nipa no onye ohene nye ono na sabi otumfo na si akonwa so ye di na sem ebu ya nofo nti na ye se anka bono house no ogina so na nka ode na najafra na nkrata akọ esansa nti wo mo atena nkrata no so enanso ema nana atem president ye nana kwadwo masa ono nso so gina nana no manemu ya ye ho nkrata nyina sa bi ho asem da court ye de bono house no ye de na ko gina court se na sede se de nipa si akonwa so wi a ohwe na ode ne nkrata akọ national na se bi wo gizet no nana jafra nkrata akọto wa fa mamre kwan so na ye de na si akonwa so na be pem sa bre enkoso no nti court nhye na ese o ka kire no on kan kire no na jafra ne nkrata emra ntem no man no se bi fa ntem afemfira na o man no nya na so ndwe e no na se ye de ase no court se ya minim se nyame ye ne pa 13th ya e be baso e wokun ase appeal court nti so bi sa no a se bono ene ese nka o mkeka o nti mmeka se fa ba bi kura no ya ade a na yekoso ikura no na kwete se wo msa sha ase fi sa ade se oye masundwe ba no na se wo nye na se bi obi a onye ohene na mote ho na munim se ya fa mamre kwan so asi no ohene ansa na obi bedi ohene so nyina mo ye hemfo se nye nipa nyina na se bi abusuan na da ho a da ho se obi atim di akwanwa no bi na obi sori sa nipa sei na motima asori afere na nkrata de ko na sanse national house open no kurenti na ekuduru ho ekoliki sa da no na jafra ni ho nso ye bo na nkrata na chi na me de mesere se ne bono house of chiefs ye no ye nyina na ye ma bono na ye obono na mmom ye hwe na ye ma periperi ye opanyi no tie adwam e wo bono house ho no on fa na nsi form na on kan no kore so pesampa yi dia on kan no kore na jafra na nkrata no ye na minim se ni nyina no wo mo aso da se wo mo gina mra anim e wo court nti se wo mo nyina wo mo wa no yi wo court nti ono de so obisa me a ba bia ye de ho aduro no na me ofutu kakra me be ma bono mpan ho no sa sen no ye be di awi o se enemi o wo mo mo ho me no so na ma no kore enye adwuma se wo mo pesampa man eyi dia na so wo mo anye sa dia na me ho se wo mo yesampa man atamfo
kotie bae no tufuhene a owo Sampa na ede ensemwe ede tudwa da bia meka tro say ansa na Asanteman so TV yede bibi bebro no na ya dom soko ehu se de ye ka ne nyina ye wonyina so na ne nyina so ye no koye metena ha emfa yetirimu emeka bibia emfa entro enti se de medi kan ye no tufuhene enso ede beto so ema yete ye ho ase se wei enkomra nyina no eye Bono Regional House of Chiefs na etai Sammordua a ye hye ne kutupa enti wono onim se an wanya power wanya kukuduro because menum ye no etams ye wokaka mpa onim se ye de ne nkosi baabia because wanya no Regional House of Chiefs a omono eta na chieshe ni kutupa enti ni a hoye ni nyina enya ono ankasa na enya ono ankasa na epia you efri baabi na eba abusuafo umayefa we ntu ye hofo ye youth na eba na ene mpanimfo a ye yimu a munim amamremu amanse me nkasa amamremu nkwa but pani bi a ye yiw ede wato bibia no ebusuafo ye ya ade a eya yendwene hu yiu na yendwene entri manso ho yenye niye o na yendwene entri manso ho mame mbisa o se me no mienu nia ekoso yi nia ekoso yi entinka free me no wabusua mu a anka wani beje ana me bisa no regional house of chiefs say eya ade a anka nia otekokko so edini si so se wei na amamre ne amane kwan so yedini si ade so na yato ya gina tum se ono na ebedi sampa kone so a mebisa wo ofiri abusua mu a anka mani enje ana se ofiri abusua mu anka mani enje anka mokotai obi achi ama nipa na kwakoye kutupa aba ene nipa kro no aba betwe ana eye menu mienu a anka yeni enje misremu uma ye nyina yefa we entu ye hofo na entwima na ye ba ne soso yenhwe na yefa entu ye hofo the fact say nipa no eye wo elder na say nipa no do anim eye bin doesn't mean say nipa no is always right abusianfo akwada tufu a eye yi sa so na pani etufu a eye uma yefa we entu ye hofo na mekwaso aka wo say aha eye Asanteman so TV ai oborem ewo YouTube na wa subscribe to our channel na wa click on the notification bell so there be ya notification bia ubenya info no ententem na ye ba ya ye de dwumadie ebe som no nyina no ya da bia kan hunu se eye nkrofo gukudam bi eneta ye chi a wo bo ye chi dom a yetimi de we dwumadie say etimi ede brew na me kire ye sponsors eno no ye wo Adabov Steel Complex Limited. I Mrs. roofing sheets papa dia ye number 1. I ubetimi afrewo ewa homa true for you so 0245 385109 and no Adabov Steel Complex Limited. Sa and so na ye wo Grand Echo Cabanas me say so ope baby papa I relax ope baby papa I events ope baby papa I have a conference me comfort Grand Echo Cabanas na edi amount ye wo swimming pool ho ye wo accommodation e dey na wo hwehwe etino me kanfo Grand Echo Cabanas e dey amount pusuwon e wo ahomatrofo yi so 02011818182 ana 0591882 eno eye Grand Echo Cabanas eno no sa enso na ye wo Asanteman Professional Studio ede na ope shoots bi ede ahwehwem ede abo udan ho da ye nka yeduma na o ye wedding funeral events ben freyen Asanteman Professional Studio ye ba be didwumadie no ede ama kama obetimi afre e wa homatrufo yi so 0244961189 na mekoso akai wo se aha eye Asanteman so TV ani ene de besom mo no ni nyina efri Sampa insensema ekoso ewo ho no monkoso na monkan ye ho na mon like na mon share dasene ye besan ye hia medam wase